المحتمل الدولي والوطني على الإنفاذ الفعلي لكافة أحكام المواثيق والمعاهدات الدولية ذات الصلة بحقوق الإنسان، بالإضافة للالتزام بتطبيق المعايير الدولية لحقوق الإنسان والتي أصبحت لا غنى عنها لاستقرار وتنمية أي مجتمع يسعى للاستقرار والازدهار. وفي هذا السياق أود الإشارة إلى مبادرة دولة قطر لدعم تطوير منظومة حقوق الإنسان على المستوى العربي وإنشاء المحكمة العربية لحقوق الإنسان، حيث استضافت دولة قطر خلال شهر يونيو من هذا العام مؤتمرا دوليا تحت عنوان تطوير منظومة حقوق الإنسان بجامعة الدول العربية. ومن هذا المنطلق أود أن أدعو المنظمة للتركيز خلال المرحلة المقبلة على الموضوعات الدولية المتعلقة بحقوق الإنسان والعمل على نقل وتبادل أفضل التجارب والممارسات في مجال حقوق الإنسان بين الدول الأعضاء على الصعيدين الدولي والوطني، فضلا عن إمكانية استفادة الدول العربية من تجارب المحاكم الإقليمية المماثلة مثل المحكمة الإفريقية لحقوق الإنسان. المحور الثالث تعزيز الشفافية والنزاهة ومكافحة الفساد. إن انتشار الفساد بكافة صوره وأشكاله من المسببات الرئيسة للقضاء على الديمقراطية وإهدار سيادة القانون، فضلا عن ضياع فرص التنمية واستنزاف الموارد، مما يؤدي بالتبعية للخروج والتأخر عن ركب التقدم والاستقرار. ومن هذا المنطلق فلا بد من التصدي بكل حزم لظاهرة انتشار الفساد ووضع الآليات الدولية والوطنية الفعالة في هذا الشأن من أجل منع الفساد وملاحقة مرتكبيه والقضاء على كافة الملاذ الآمنة لتهريب الأموال المتحصلة من جرائم الفساد. هذا فضلا عن المبادرة التي اتخذتها دولة قطر لتعزيز التعاون العربي والدولي في مجال استرداد الأموال المتحصلة من جرائم الفساد، حيث بادرت دولة قطر بإنشاء المنتدى العربي لاسترداد الأموال المنهوبة، وهو عبارة عن مؤسسة قائمة بذاتها لدعم جهود استرداد الأموال والأصول المنهوبة المملوكة لدول الربيع العربي. المحور الرابع مواجهة التطرف وتعزيز التسامح والحوار بين الحضارات. ما زال المجتمع الدولي يشهد كثيرا من ظواهر التطرف والعنف واستمرار ظاهرة الإرهاب، ولقد كانت دولة قطر من أوائل الدول التي تبنت مبادرة لحوار الحضارات بين الأمم والشعوب المختلفة. فقد استضافت دولة قطر خلال هذا العام مؤتمر الدوحة لحوار الأديان خلال شهر أبريل الماضي تحت عنوان تجارب ناجحة في حوار الأديان، والذي قامت وزارة العدل بافتتاحه. كما تقدمت وزارة العدل بدولة قطر إلى جامعة الدول العربية بمشروع قانون عربي نموذجي لمنع ازدراء الأديان، وقد استضافت دولة قطر الاجتماع الأول لمناقشة أحكام هذا القانون، والذي نتطلع لاعتماده على المستوى العربي بجامعة الدول العربية خلال الشهر القادم بإذن الله تعالى. المحور الخامس والأخير تعزيز التنمية المستدامة وحماية البيئة. نود التأكيد على أن الاستغلال الناجح للموارد الطبيعية والطاقات البشرية وحسن إدارتهما تعد قاطرة التنمية المستدامة، ويقينا هنالك ارتباط وثيق بين قضايا التنمية المستدامة والحفاظ على البيئة. وفي ضوء اهتمام دولة قطر بحل المشكلات البيئية وتقديم الحلول الفعالة للتنمية المستدامة، فقد استضافت دولة قطر في عام 2012 مؤتمر الأمم المتحدة لتغير المناخ. أصحاب المعالي السيدات والسادة الحضور الكرام، في ختام كلمتي أشكركم على حسن إنصاتكم، وأدعو الله عز وجل أن يوفقنا جميعا لما يحب ويرضى ويحقق مصلحة دولنا وازدهار مجتمعاتنا، وذلك من أجل أن يعم الخير والسلام علينا جميعا بإذن الله تعالى. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, sir, for your statement. Next country on my list is Sri Lanka, but with Sri Lanka's permission, can I give the floor to Myanmar, because they have been listed for afternoon, but they have another meeting in the afternoon. So if Sri Lanka permits, I'd like to give the floor to Myanmar. Myanmar, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, Madam President, Excellency, delegates, distinguished girls, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Government of India for hosting this 52nd annual sessions of AALCO and for extending a warm welcome and hospitality of the all delegation. I also thank His Excellency Professor Ahmed Mohamed, the Secretary General of AALCO, and the Secretariat for their hard work and commitment towards the work of ALCO. I also congratulate Her Excellency Dr. Nehru Chandler on her election as President and Ms. Hema Udev on her election as Vice President of this 52nd annual sessions of the ALCO. I would like to reaffirm Myanmar government's commitments towards ALCO and important roles of ALCO in providing international legal assistance to its member states. Myanmar strongly recognizes the important role of the ALCO in providing fruitful knowledge and updated experience, of which may also be applicable for setting up of new political factions of Myanmar. Myanmar is now being transformed step by step in order to achieve the democratization system. With the positive will of new government, Myanmar is engaged with political, legal, and administrative reform. Which must be compatible with the new democratic system and economic reform. Madam President, distinguished delegates, distinguished girls, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, this political, economic and legal reform has created new challenges for Myanmar. Myanmar needs to carry out her existing function and new areas of work consistently with democratic principles and the rule of law. Existing laws have been reviewed, whether those should be amended, revised, or those should be withdrawn. Some new laws should be enacted to meet with the international standards as required of the provisions of the multilateral treaties in international law. Thus, international legal assistance provided by the work of ALCO is invaluable contribution to establish the rule of law, including the justice sector developments in Myanmar. I have observed that there is a busy agenda with many important subjects to be discussed in this 52nd annual sessions of ALCO. Regarding the agenda of law of the sea, in this session, the current practice of the world over exercising in UNCLOS and its tribunal, its laws, should be contributed among the member states of ALCO. This contribution will be very applicable to reiterate the importance of peaceful settlements of dispute among states. Myanmar had cooperated with ASEAN partners in the common endeavor to fight that Asian challenges of the sea and recognize piracy as a challenge on the high sea faced by all the maritime countries of the world. Since Myanmar and Bangladesh had consented to institute proceeding under Part 15 of the UNCLOS before the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea, it was the good practice of Myanmar and Bangladesh to have peaceful settlements of dispute. Madam President, distinguished delegates, distinguished girls, ladies and gentlemen, in addition, I appreciated the work of ALCO in the area of environment and sustainable development and challenges in combating corruption, which were not an unfamiliar problem for Myanmar. The three Rio Conventions of Environment and The three Rio Conventions of Environment and Sustainable Development, namely United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, 1992, Conventions of Biological Diversity, 1992, and United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification in those countries experiencing serious drought and or desertification, particularly in Africa, 1994, have been ratified by Myanmar. Myanmar has ratified the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in February 2005, Convention on Biological Diversity in November 1994, and Myanmar has acceded the United Nations conventions to combat desertification in those countries experiencing serious drought and desertification, particularly in Africa, in January 1997. Myanmar needs the legal development and latest information of the implementations of those three Rio Conventions in order to arrange the preservation of natural resources, environment, and for sustainable development in Myanmar. Myanmar has also ratified the UN Convention Against Corruption in December 2012. Myanmar anti-corruption law has been recently enacted. I do hope that knowledge and combating corruption resulted from this 52nd session will be very useful to scrutinize the Myanmar anti-corruption law to be in line with the international standard. In my conclusion, I will say that Myanmar government support all the endeavors of ALCO to promote Asian-African solidarity, cooperation towards progressive development and codifications of international law. Thank you.
Thank you, Myanmar. Now I'll give the floor to Sri Lankan delegation. You have the floor.
President-elect, Madam Dr. Neela Chadda, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs of India, Professor Rahmat Mohammed, Secretary General of ALCO, Vice President-elect Ms. Hema Udav, First Secretary, Multilateral Relations, Ministry of External Affairs, Republic of South Africa, Honorable Ministers, Heads of Delegation, distinguished delegates, observers, ladies and gentlemen. As Minister in charge of the subject of justice in Sri Lanka, I have had the honor of leading the delegation of my country to 3 annual conferences of ALCO. I was also elected as the President of ALCO at the 50th annual sessions held in Colombo in 2011. At the outset, on behalf of the delegation of Sri Lanka, I wish to express our profound appreciation to Professor Rahmat Mohammed, Secretary General of ALCO, and all those at the ALCO Secretariat for the warm welcome and hospitality extended to us from the time we arrived in Delhi, and also for making arrangements to make the current session a memorable one. Please permit me to express my appreciation and gratitude to the Honorable Ministers, Heads of Delegations, distinguished delegates and observers, panelists, and others who have come here to participate at this session. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. 56 years ago, Sri Lanka joined Burma, India, Indonesia, Iraq, and Syria to launch the Asian Legal Consultative Committee in this same historic city of New Delhi. It is with justifiable pride that we review the progress made by this organization that was launched 56 years ago with only 6 members, among whom we were one. It has steadily grown into a respected multilateral institution that makes credible contributions in the development of international law and relations reflecting the views of the 2 great continents of Asia and Africa, which will shape the trajectory of world affairs in the 21st century. Today, ALCO consists of 47 nations in the Asia-Africa region, making its collective voice heard on a vast array of subjects that are vital for peace and progress in our planet. It is necessary to note that the recent annual sessions of ALCO devoted a significant part of its time and resources to deliberate on topics that had serious bearing on world peace, sustainable development, environment, and prevention of crime and the rule of law. I congratulate all